Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin' Mommy, and I'm here on Friday, June 6th to do a quick update. Hopefully it'll be really quick. I don't have a whole lot of progress. I did get to everything I said I was going to get to, but some of them didn't get as much as I would have hoped just because it's been really busy with lots of family. So 4th of July here in the States was on Wednesday, and so it seemed like all day, every day this week, except for today, we've had an extra family thing. Some of them that lasted all day. So it's been busy but fun. So not as much regular stitching time. The first thing, I also got 100% caught up on Flosstube like a week ago, which was amazing and a little bit frustrating because then there was nothing to watch. I was going back through and watching some things I might have skipped because I didn't have time before that weren't regular updates, or looking around to see if I could find some new people that I recognized having heard shout outs from. So then, now that we've gone over into a new month, there's like a boatload of new videos for people who do monthly updates and like to post an update around the change of the month. So I'm behind again, but that's okay. Now I have lots to watch. So when I talked to you last, I was planning to start working on my Caterpillar cross stitch stitch along adventure awaits. I have a bunch of cut threads in the bag. So this is the kit I received, and they're a UK company, Caterpillar cross stitch, and it's this mystery Sal will be a world map, and one clue has been released June 22nd. Yeah, in Europe. So it's right here in the top middle. And I have just finished it yesterday. I gave it 2 days at the end of June and didn't get it finished. So ever since then, I've been working on it for my travel piece instead of the Little House Needleworks thing. And I just finished it this morning. I don't know if I said yesterday before. I just finished it this morning at swimming lessons. So here it is. And before I just had a couple lines of dark blue. And it's kind of washing out a little bit, but maybe it'll look better. Because if I do, yeah, I don't know. I think it turned out really cute. I didn't bother serging it. I really enjoyed this a lot better than even the mock-ups that I had been, not mock-ups, like on her Facebook group, the pictures of other people's things. And I think part of it might be that the color of the fabric is really hard to photograph. It is light blue and it is darker than it's showing in the video. But it turned out really cute. I'm really happy with it. So I liked it better than all the other ones I've seen of it, and maybe it's just a classic case of it's always better in person. So that's my little Europe clue number 1. I'm not doing the border pieces yet, just because I'll wait until I get to the clues that are closer to it. So there's these little border frames, corner frames that will go around it, and those are given to us right now, but I'd have to count over, to get to them, so I'm just going to wait until, like, this clue, I'll do this one, that sort of thing. So I'm finally done with that, which is a good feeling, and the next one will come out the evening of July 21st for me. And I think I'm going to try to work on it close to the release date this time, so we'll see how that goes. The next thing I worked on was Touchdown for my son's birthday date, which is the 2nd, so the 1st and the 2nd. And it's been fun working on these every month on their birthday, like the same, whatever their birthday number is, I'm doing it on that number every month, and that's been really fun to get my kids' pieces progress, because they like seeing me work on them regularly, and it feels really good to make progress like consistently on things. And since I have so many projects, even if I were to do like a standard, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just rotate through all my projects, I probably wouldn't get to the same ones for months and months and months. So it's fun to have a few key ones that will come back every month and see consistent progress. So this is where it was last time. And here's where I got to. So pretty happy with this one. This one actually I saw a little bit more consistent time on. I finished up some of this orange, and his skin, the number 7, and this arm are all finished now. So next time I get to it, I'll work more on this jersey. And the chart is like right here, cut off. So like this top part is split between 2 pages with an overlap right in the middle because it's been stapled or something. And then from this way down is on a 2-page spread that's not stapled, so it's continuous chart. So this chart on the bottom part is actually a lot easier to read. So I'm really, really wanting to get this part done because then I don't have to worry about that chart, the top chart anymore, until I'm backstitching. So, and I may start backstitching as I go, but I'm not sure yet. So we'll see. So far, I'm just having fun with the cross stitches, and I don't know yet if I'll need to change the colors of the backstitching, so that's part of why I might be waiting to backstitch right now. So to see, they're kind of generic colors for backstitching, so I might not need to change anything, but we'll have to wait and see. And then, corresponding with the 4th of July, well, actually, before I get to that, on July 2nd, the Heaven and Earth 100 Days of Hade challenge started. And it's got a separate Facebook group, Stitch Talk, 100 Days of Hade challenge. And this is my first time participating, and I decided to work on my Furry Animals freebie because it's kind of my focus on a finish, and it's little, so even if I'm on vacation, I can take it with me and get a few stitches in. The very first day I worked on this, on the 2nd, I'm consistent so far, so I've been doing good. The first day I set my timer, did 15 minutes, which is what I was planning to do. And then because we've been so busy, all the other days have just been like filling in a little tiny section of, you know, that color in a particular area. So on the 3rd, I did literally 2 stitches, and the minimum is 1. So I did more than the minimum. And the next day, I think it was like 9 stitches, and then, I don't know, like 15. Today was a few more because I was finishing my thread, but not a full 15 minutes on any of the days except for that first day. So hopefully in the future, I can spend a little bit more time on it. But again, like on a vacation day, I may not get any more than a couple stitches. But I'm hoping to be consistent and complete the challenge and see how far I can get on this thing. So this is what it looked like last time. Not a whole lot of progress, but here it is now. Just a tiny bit of one of the colors is finished now, so it's very similar to last time. I was working on, like, I don't know, there's just a little bit of bits along in here that got filled in. And I chose a different color highlighter. I normally am not a stitch counter because I don't want to bother with that, and changing my highlighter color is actually confirming why I don't want to do that normally. It's because I normally use a yellow highlighter, and if it's all the same color, I can just kind of highlight the squares, the symbols on the chart really loosely and kind of overlap into the ones that have already been highlight into, like, the empty square plus, like, you can be really sloppy with it into the areas that have already been highlighted. And now with the new color, you have to be really precise and kind of get really picky with making sure it's just a symbol, and it's just a little bit fiddly. And so I'm glad I don't normally do that, but for this one, because I'm going to do it every day, I want to see if I can get a by the numbers challenge in Full Coverage Fanatics. And at the rate I'm going, I won't make that for sure, because this is a half stitch piece. I need 2,400 stitches, and I probably have like 100 after 5 days. So the chances are it's not going to happen, but I figured I would try it. I would count it and see how far I am, how close I am, how far away I am, and at the end of the month, and if it's light years away from what I need, then I'll not even bother with it for the rest of the time. But I figure since I'm working on it every day, I might as well at least see if it's gonna be close to the by the numbers challenge requirement. So anyways, the next thing I worked on for my regular stitching was I started Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia, and I've had this for probably since not too long after it was out. I don't know if I was married yet or not. It's probably been about 15 years since I bought that. And I switched this, so this is this one now. I'm doing this on Stony Point linen by Witchell, 32 count. And here is my start. I don't know if that helps. It's got stuff on it. Oh, maybe I could do this. There we go. I've already done a large area, because the middle of the chart was like right here, and so I hopped over and rode the flagpole all the way to the top of the chart. So this is the top of the chart, and then I counted over to do her shoulders, neck, and face, and then counted over to do her arm, and this is her the same color as this in the torch. So the torch will be here. So it's kind of, I didn't have a lot of days on time on these third and fourth, but because I didn't want to take this to the family gathering and have it be all messed up. But I'm really happy with how far I got, because normally when I start in the middle, I kind of piecemeal my way up and it goes kind of slow, like you saw my Winter Queen. I'm just still like in her middle right now. So it was nice to be able to go all the way to the top really fast and now have points of the 3 top highest points where I can now fill in, finish the Krynic and the beads and the stitching, and then just kind of start working my way down. So that's the plan on her, and really fun. So looking forward to bringing her out again sometime. Maybe arbitrary August. Other than that, I don't know. I don't have any plans specifically. And then, come on, get this rolled up. And the tube I have for this one, I didn't have any really nice, like, roomy tubes available. Like sometimes I'll have tubes left over from buying fabric in the store, and they're really roomy. So I'm ending up using a fairly thin wrapping paper tube for her, and the one I had was even thinner than this, and I couldn't get the needle minder in once I had the needle minder on there, and I'm like, yeah, I need a bigger one. So I confiscated the tube from my Christmas wreath and put her in there, but it's still a little bit tight, so I got to make sure she's rolled up nice and tight. And then yesterday I pulled out Snow Queen for my daughter, because her birth date is the 4th. So every month I'm working on the 4th. I'm working on her project by Shannon Wassiliff, the Snow Queen, and I think I got 1 length of thread done yesterday, so it's pretty not very far at all. I don't even think I'll show you a before. So this is where she's at. I did this last night, and I just started this morning for a few minutes. So 1 length of thread last night in the darkest white, which is a pale blue, 775. So it is blue, but it's the darkest white shade. So I only got one length of thread done on her yesterday. Again, we had a full day of family, which was really nice. Just not a good day for stitching. So if I can, today's probably going to be busy too with just other things. So I'm not sure how much time I'll get on her, but any time is sometime. So I do have her slated for today. So we'll see what else I can get done on her today. And my travel piece, put her back up here. My travel piece that from Country Cottage Needleworks. Again, I didn't work on it all that much because I was working on the Adventure Awaits most of the time this week, but I got a little bit up here done. So that's it. I think everything else I had done previously, and I think these leaves, these 3 leaves are all I did this past week, and that's this morning. Because at swimming lessons I finished up Adventure Awaits and then pulled this out and did 3 leaves. So that's as far as I got, but this will go back to being my regular travel piece. Not a lot of consistent travel stitching in the summer though, so again, I don't know how much love this will get. When I'm on vacation, I do take travel stitching, but I also take my regular projects, and I can work on those in the car too. So, and I just try to not take, like, I don't take a big full coverage piece, but a lot of my projects I can take with me and work on in the car. So that one may get some attention on vacations, but not necessarily a lot, because I could be working on some of my regularly scheduled programming. What I'm planning to do next, for the next 2-day chunk, is my fruit wreath from this Leisure Arts book. So this is, when I worked on this last month in the World Cup Challenge, I got really close. Not really close. I know I'm not going to finish it in this 2-day chunk, but it's you can smell a finish because it's getting pretty close. This is a really tight tube. I probably shouldn't have this one in it, but you know. So here is where I'm at now, and that's pretty good. I think my next area will be the filling in the rest of these plums and then working on all the greens, then the back stitching. So I don't know how much time I'll be able to get on this, if it will be a little or a lot, so you'll have to wait and see. But this is the first piece that I'm pulling out that will qualify for Christmas in July, which is just a casual, why not bring out my Christmas pieces thing right now. I have 4 pieces that are overtly Christmas. I have a couple other that are wintry, like the Snow Queens, but I have 4 that are Christmas. So that's the first one, and then the other ones will come later in the month, so I'll share those when they get closer. The next thing, I'm going to do a 4-day rotation on Storytime Sampler by Frosted Pumpkin, so that'll fill out the rest of next week. So there won't be, if I can come back and film again next Friday will be a new project, but I probably won't have started it when I do the video because I like to do my videos in the morning. So I'm planning on doing Knitting Woman again for Full Coverage Fanatics, but I'll show that in my next video because I won't have had any progress. So this one is the one I'm going to work on next after my wreath, and it's going to get 4 days because I want to make sure to finish it. I still have white on my needle, so I'll probably finish up the white in the banner, which goes a little bit farther over here, and then I will do the next block, which will be my personally charted block. In here it's supposed to be the Lady of Shalott, which the only reference personally that I have to Lady of Shalott is when Anne of Green Gables plays her in Anne of Green Gables. And so there's already an Anne of Green Gables block, so it didn't make sense for me to have her there because I've never really read the story myself. However, I like Pride and Prejudice, and the Storytime literary sal that Frosted Pumpkin did last year had Pride and Prejudice. Their block was bigger than these blocks, and so I kind of took their people and general idea, and I think they had some topiary trees. I kind of shoved those in there, sort of, and some clouds, and that's it. And then she has like a little castle thing up here, and so in the big Pride and Prejudice on the other Frosted Pumpkin pattern, there's a large Pemberley building behind the characters. So I made a tiny Pemberley to fit up in this section, and then the two people will be here. And it'll be right next to this one, which is a little disappointing because the two with two people will be right next to each other because all the rest only have one person. But, you know, it is what it is. This is the one I wanted to get rid of, so that's the one I'm replacing. So I'm going to do the frame exactly as charted, and then put Pemberley in up there, and then the Mr. Darcy and Lizzie in the middle. So you will have to just wait and see what that's going to look like when I finish it, because I just have a pattern charted. So I'll just show you that later. So we'll see how that goes, and I think that's everything. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is I was talking about starting that cherry kitten piece, and I realized that while I was watching back my last video during editing, I have my Furry Animals. I have this one included. I had this one included with a proper 2-day rotation in the month of July. But then because I'm doing it in the 100 Days of Hade, I'll work on it a little bit every day. And while I was filming my last video, I mentioned I would just work on that exclusively the whole day on those 2 days. And then I realized I can take that proper rotation out and fit in my starting cherry kitten instead, so I can use those 2 days to start that. And then just leave the Furry Animals for the 100 Days of Hade part of my day. So that's where I fit that in. So that's going to get started this month. I have it down here on the 25th. And I think I might stick with that. But you know what? I might... yeah, I might start it on the 13th. Which is right after Storytime Sampler. Because there's no reason it has to be down there. Or I could start Tapestry on the 13th and start Cherry Kitten on the 19th. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'll do. If anyone has an opinion, feel free to weigh in, but it's not really a big deal. It's just kind of in and amongst other plans that I know will take me away from stitching, so I don't necessarily want to have a start on some certain days that won't have a lot of stitching time. So, like Lady of the Flag, she ended up being on days I knew were going to be bad stitching days, but they were the holidays when I wanted to start her. So that kind of just happened that way, and there was no way around that. Kind of a weird feel to this video. I don't feel prepared. I don't feel really like I even wanted to make a video. I wanted to make one, but then part of me was like, I've got too much to do. I don't want to do this. So, but I decided just to do it and get it over with. And all of the stuff I did this past week can be shared, and I don't have to remember it anymore. So I think that's the most motivating factor to doing a video, is just get all the details out of my head and clear some space. So thank you for that. And I will see you again hopefully next week. So until then, happy stitching. Bye.